Hey guys, welcome to the channel. So here's something. So I think private jets are pretty cool. And if I had it like that, trust me, I'd have it like that for sure. I've got absolutely no problem with private jets, but here's the thing, dude. You can have a private jet or you can be the climate czar and dedicate your time to battling climate change and saving the world for the rest of us folks who just don't know any better and never give you the real respect that you so totally deserve. There's nothing wrong with that either, nothing wrong with either one. But when you decide to do both, well, now you're asking for it, man. Now that's asking for trouble. And of course, this is exactly the mess that the great and unimpugnable John Kerry finds himself in. Now, jetting around privately and having the insanity to deny it in the year 2023 with everything that everybody knows that's everywhere. Honestly, man, it's hard to understand. It's hard to believe. But if my partner, if my wife owned a private jet, I'd probably remember it pretty well. I'd probably be on it probably all the damn time. But let's check out this guy's story, give him the benefit of the doubt, and let's just decide how we feel about his blatant hypocrisy.
So I just don't agree with your facts, which began with the presentation of one of the most outrageously persistent lies that I hear, which is this private jet. We don't own a private jet. I don't own a private jet. I personally have never owned a private jet. And obviously, it's pretty stupid to talk about coming in a private jet from the State Department up here. It just, honestly, if that's where you want to go there.
So John Kerry, he sounds pretty convinced that he doesn't own a private jet, which, let's be honest, would be a bit hypocritical if he did. For a climate czar fighting, against carbon emissions, it would be hypocritical at least. So he's on the record about that. And we can only hope and trust that he's telling the truth. We believe that he tells us the truth, right? Because if he isn't, it would seriously undermine the credibility of probably his entire climate change movement. It would just look like complete and total hypocrisy. It would make it look like the movement is more focused on pushing policies that impact ordinary people like you and me, instead of encouraging its champions, the people leading the way, to behave just like they expect the rest of us to. And that's why, on this channel, constantly we discuss values like sacrifice and service. And if you truly believe in changing the world, you've got to start with changing yourself. It's that freaking simple. It's not black and white, man. None of this stuff is black and white. There's a whole lot of gray area, and it's all got to be navigated. But here's the thing. I believe we all love the planet, and we all want to safeguard it for the future generations. We all care. We got to open our eyes, obviously, to all the ways that we can serve, love, and protect the place. And obviously, a lot of changes, they're going to have to be made when the market dictates, in my opinion. But anyway, the voices I'm going to listen to, they aren't going to be the people flying around in private jets while denying that that's even happening. And I want to hear from people that are actually walking the walk. Hypocrites, we just cannot take them seriously, especially about something so serious.
You just testified under oath that you never owned a private jet. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to enter into the record article here from February 15th of 2023. The John Kerry family private jet was sold shortly after accusations of climate hypocrisy.
Damn, man. So not only does the guy, know that he owned a private jet, but he made his wife sell it. And I'm sure that she has never, ever, ever let him forget it. And she never will.
Mr. Secretary, do you stand by that testimony that you've never owned or
I personally,
your family?
Personally, yes. My wife owned a plane.
Oh, you meant any of us. See, I thought you just meant me. My wife, yeah, she's the one with the money. But yeah. She owned a private jet. I was on the thing all the damn time. But yeah, man, when I got this gig grifting on a truly massive freaking scale, I made her sell it, dude. And bro, she was pissed.
Yes, my wife owned a plane and sold the plane.
You flew on that plane?
Not in a number of years, but I have flown on it, sure.
So is there anything that you actually believe in, John? Anything?
This article is not then inaccurate, that your family owned a plane, you flew on a plane.
My wife
owned a plane.
But isn't that the same thing, John? You think my wife thinks that I alone own this car? You think she never has been in it? You think that if she ever got hauled in front of Congress asking about evil, polluting sports cars, she'd say, nah, never own one. And I wouldn't own one. I just don't believe in them.
Here's the issue.
Yeah.
This isn't some kind of partisan gotcha. When we are asking Americans to make serious sacrifices as we transition for the common good, and your family and or yourself are flying around on private jets.
Damn. Bingo, man. Right in the freaking kisser, dude. John should probably just do his best to change the subject. Do not talk about travel.
That smacks of hypocrisy. It actually hurts your cause, Mr. Secretary, but I'll move on. I just want to know from a record standpoint.
Afford me the right, at least, to set the record straight here.
Bro, John, don't do it. Just zip it, man. Zip it. There's nothing you could say. But obviously, we're curious.
I do not fly on a private jet. I do not fly. I fly commercially.
Have you
on
flown
all
on a
of my
private jet since you've
responsibilities.
taken this position?
Just let me finish.
No, bro. You got to believe me. You got to believe me. I absolutely hate that freaking airplane. I'm thinking about leaving my wife over this thing, man.
Have you
Airlines.
flown on a private jet in a personal or official capacity since you've taken this position?
Oh, bro, John, for the love of all things honorable in the climate alarmist cult, please, bro, please say no.
Possibly once.
Well, I really don't recall, but it may or may not have happened. But if it did, only once. I think maybe more. I'm getting old, you know?
I'm trying to think.
I
of a date.
think you need to take the broader point of how this appears to the American people.
But no,
No, sir. No, I will not take that point. But if I did, guess how I would get there?
I think you need to take the broader point of how this appears to the American people
But no,
as we're
it
asking them
shouldn't
to
appear
take
that. Let
that.
me tell you why.
Mis-
Bro, John, there's absolutely nothing you could say, man. Let me know in the comments, guys, what you think he could possibly say to call this guy off. But John, just zip it, dude. Zip it.
We're not asking Americans. We're not asking Americans not to fly. You're trying to
Really? You're just asking them not to drive, not to eat cows, and not to freaking fart.
create an unequal thing. We're
No,
not saying
we're asking
don't
you
fly.
to lead by example, Mr. Secretary.
Mr. Kerry, do you own a purple tie? No, sir, I do not. My wife, however, she owns many ties.
That's what we're at. You,
Which is why I
family,
fly
and others to lead
commercially.
by example.
Which is why.
So does John Kerry really not get the point? You know, it's not about I'm advising people not to fly, yet I'm still flying. You know, it seems like he's trying to build out a narrative that he can just somehow comfortably fit into. And you can see how absolutely uncomfortable he is, but you'd think he'd be more prepared for all this, you know. And honestly, unless you're really ready for real and meaningful personal sacrifice, you probably shouldn't be the freaking climate czar. You know, you cannot push for climate change agenda while living the high carbon lifestyle. And really, you know, he's not special. He's not any different than anybody else. This is exactly the status quo for all of the climate alarmist elites. And, you know, now that we're seeing all this unfold, well, yeah, my wife is the climate polluter. Guys, I tried to tell her, but you don't freaking know how she is, man. You know, do you remember how vehemently he denied all this at the start of this, the owning of a private jet? You know, in this crazy propagandized backwards world, you know, we're just expected to shut up and overlook these sorts of inconsistencies. You know, we're not supposed to be thinking things like, hey, didn't they introduce all these strict environmental laws and regulations? And wait just a minute. Didn't these very people completely ignore all of the fun-killing regulations that they endorsed? You know, look how confident he is at the beginning of this clip, you know, dismissing the allegations with literal certainty. You know, now we're about to witness him trip all over himself, trip all over his own words. You know, it's almost comical to see the unraveling of what began as a stuffy and sure denial turning into an awkward confession. And yeah, yes, this is minor stuff, guys, I know, but this is still lying to Congress. Small lie, but a lie's a lie, especially in Congress. You know, we don't ever take this kind of thing seriously, unless, of course, it's a Republican. But it's like watching the guy mentally backtrack thinking, oh, yeah, you know, that private jet my wife owns, I better get my story straight here on that because they must know. You know, his confidence at the beginning, it's almost ironic now, but this video is awesome.
So I just don't agree with your facts. I don't own a private jet. I personally have never owned a private jet. And obviously, it's pretty stupid to talk about coming in a private jet.
Yeah, bro, pretty stupid. So stupid that it would almost make you look like a complete and total fraud. So glad that that's not the case.
Began with the presentation of one of the most outrageously persistent lies the State Department up here.
And who are all these guys smiling in the background, man? You only show up smiling that big if you showed up yourself on that private jet, balling just out of control.
Honestly, if that's where you want to go there.
Yeah, go there. I freaking dare you. Let's go there.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to enter into the record article here from February 15th of 2023. John Kerry family private jet was sold shortly after accusations of climate hypocrisy. Mr. Secretary, do you stand by that testimony that you've never owned or
I personally,
your family?
I
Your family?
personally, yes, my wife owned a plane.
Yeah, bro. You know I got a sugar mama. Anyway, that's all interesting, to me at least. Let me know in the comments if it's interesting to you. But how amazing is it to witness this spectacle? It's really a promotion for, honestly, the decentralization of government. Don't give people this kind of insane authority because they're just like us. They're fallible. They're not perfect. They appreciate their comfort. They appreciate their ease. They make mistakes. We're all humans trying to make sense of this crazy life, of course, and live the best way that we can. I've taken advantage. You've taken advantage. But we're all making our way through this crazy world, But here's where it turns into a real issue. Here's where it starts affecting people other than ourselves. When political figures and media outlets start acting all high and mighty, pretending to be superior, and without even thinking, imposing regulations that they themselves can't, or even worse, purposefully will not stick to. That's the problem. That is a problem. And really, that is the main problem. We've got climate alarmists running around on private jets. We've got gun grabbers excusing the gun crimes of their sons. And it's just insane, man. Anyway, kind of getting off track, but that's my take, guys. I thought you guys would get a kick out of this. Let me know in the comments. Let me know your thoughts. And don't forget to like, subscribe. Most importantly, share the Common Sense Garage. We'll see you in the next one.